everybody, and welcome to Rocket Soccer Confederation Match Day number 7. Tonight we're bringing you a Major League match between the Quads and the Jazz. So a pretty exciting matchup here, of course. Both of these teams not having the greatest of seasons, but means it's probably going to be a bit more competitive and not a complete blowout, so definitely looking forward to this one. Should be plenty interesting, and yeah, I think this is the first time we've streamed anything below Premiere, so it'll be interesting to get that on the table. I, of course, am Llama, and I'm joined this evening by CD.
Hello, everyone.
Yep, and yeah, we'll just be bringing you the match tonight. Same old 4-game series. And yeah, like we said, Major League match. Should be a good one for sure. Of course, the Quads GM'd by Wheelchair, and the Jazz under the GM authority of Chrono, who is an ex-Wheelchair player. So maybe a little bit of friendly rivalry going on here, but should be very interesting to watch. Anything you're specifically looking out for in this one, CD?
Nothing in particular. I'm wondering if some of these players might have a lot of experience with each other, given that former relation between their GMs.
Yeah, it could be interesting. There is, of course, the dynamic that Chrono's teams are brand new, and Wheelchair's had his teams together for a few seasons now. I think he joined us as a GM in Dynasty Cup season number 2, immediately requesting a new server here. So,
Indeed, technical issues right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, we see 3 players with ping in excess of 150 to an East server, which is strange, but
that is something.
Psionics, please. But yeah, where I was going before that rude interruption is, yeah, I mean, we saw Wheelchair's players. I think it was Cheese Pie, Rob, and I don't remember who the third one was, but they've been playing together for a few seasons now, and meanwhile, these players on Chrono's team have kind of just come together. Have only been playing for 6 match days now. This is their 7th together. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, even if Chrono does have a bit of insight on the way that these Quads players might play.
Indeed, a clash of the new and the old, as it were.
Yeah, and we saw the same dynamic last on Monday as well, with CD's classic Hurricanes squad against brand new team from Ninja Seb. So interesting little dynamic there. Of course, that one was a pretty crushing result in favor of the Hurricanes, but the Jazz do have the better record so far in this season at 9-15 compared to the Quads 7-17. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. Should be a great game to watch either way.
Indeed. And looking over the past matches, I have to wonder, it seems that the Jazz are a little more consistent, whereas the Quads are a little more swingy between free 1s and 0-4s.
Yeah, that can absolutely happen.
Yeah, Jazz seems to be sticking a lot of 2-2s.
Yeah, that's always an interesting thing to look at, because that can kind of come down to rosters or just specific players on specific days. So there's more analysis to be done into exactly what's going on there, but I'm going to get underway here with game number 1.
Yes, was that a request for a new server?
No, I think we already switched servers, and the ping is still just really awful for this one. So
Ping is still bad. Unfortunate, but we're going to have to get underway here. Turtle Assassin off the walls, trying to make a pass to the middle, not able to do much with it. Clamhander sending it high above. Cheese Pie carrying it up towards the Jazz's end, and Turtle Assassin making an early goal.
Yeah, that was a pretty great little play from the Quads here. We kind of saw Cheese Pie make a probably not totally intentional center there, but regardless, it was a good touch to get a lot of power on it, and he forced I don't know necessarily forced either, but he caused the Jazz players to double commit, and he left the goal wide open for Turtle in the middle, who definitely took full advantage of the great shot, and an early lead here for the Quads. can definitely be a big difference maker. I think that they are a pretty heavily momentum-based team. As you said, they're either usually blowing out their opponents or getting blown out. So definitely probably a very momentum-based team, and an early lead like this could really help them.
So we'll see how much they can make of it. They're staying on the offense. Robbing Hope with an attempt on goal. No one quite there. Clamhammer unable to make the attempt. Hanzo holding it at midfield. A lot of back and forth so far. Robbing Hope keeps trying to set up those centers. Unfortunately, the rest of the quads just don't seem to be there in time to make something of it.
Yeah, they're definitely kind of backing off into a bit of a safer rotation. We see explosive bouts of offense followed by some safer defensive play, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. They do have the lead already, so can't hurt to be a bit cautious and safe, but they definitely need to not get themselves caught in that type of gameplay and still get some offense going, as Turtle has a wide open net and finishes it.
And it is a lovely little bit of a play there. Clamhammer unfortunately sends it straight to Turtle, who's able to redirect it right on goal, and I do believe gets one extra touch there right at the end to secure it.
Yeah, it was a bit of an example of a pretty bad rotational breakdown from the Jazz. It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world to have all your players there, but then you need to be very careful about losing the ball in the middle of the field, which is exactly what they did, and they got hit pretty hard for it.
Absolutely. Some will see if they can improve. Cheese Pie sending it towards the blue end, not really doing much with it. Robbing Hope right now, serving as sort of the star of the offense on the quad side, keeping up the pressure and keeping the ball moving.
Yeah, he definitely, scoreboard doesn't reflect what he's been doing in this game, as scoreboard kind of reflects what a lot of people expect from him, but instead, he's actually experiencing some good success here.
Indeed.
Very effective for his team.
All three members of the quad staying forward on the, all three members of the Jazz on the quad side of the field.
Oh, Slurpee.
Low shot there, but nothing of it yet. It's still 0-2 in favor of the quads with 2 minutes 15 seconds to go. Long pass down. Cheese Pie is able. Turtle Assassin's there. And it's a third goal just over 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, that was a great little look there from Cheese Pie. He kind of was aware of where Slurpee was and was aware that Slurpee wasn't challenging very quickly. So he did very, very good to just control the ball and get a nice calm touch to the middle of the field where it was very, very easy for Turtle to put in his third goal of the game. So definitely doing a very good job for himself.
Yep. Hat trick for Turtle Assassin. Cementing a place as the finisher of the team so far. A little bit of trouble from the Jazz getting the ball out of their side of the field. Hanzo, a loose, uncontrolled shot, not able to make much of it. Slurpee dropping it on his own net, and Robbing Hope, shout out to Llama, is there.
Yeah, Rob finally getting some numbers on the board for himself here. It's a pretty bad defensive blunder by Slurpee, and as well by the rest of the team. They were just not prepared for him to do that. So if you're going to kind of center the ball on your own net, at least make sure it's well communicated, but very well done by Rob to be there to capitalize on that mistake.
Jazz just having some difficulty with their defense so far. Not making the big clears, not getting the third man back to stay in back when it's needed. Robbing Hope pushing back up from the left corner. Slurpee trying to clear out, losing control already. Cheese Pie sending it through the right of goal. Clamhammer. Not a big clear. Turtle Assassin's there to keep it moving.
Yeah, it's kind of just stalling here on defense for this Jazz squad. And, oh, well, Caster's curse. Slurpee just demolishes it.
Absolutely. Looking at that again. Clamhammer sends it up. Slurpee off the wall. Rob just unable to make a touch. Looks like he's going for a pinch off the wall. But Slurpee was there and manages to position himself just right to smack it into the goal with his wheels.
Yeah, I definitely think that was more so speaking well of the Jazz in terms of how that goal came to be than anything poorly done by the quads. Especially as a change of pace, just suddenly pulling a goal like that out of nowhere when previously in this game they'd been struggling on offense is definitely a good change of pace and pretty helpful way to get a goal and potentially swing some momentum in their favor in this series.
Indeed, and it almost worked. It's just a moment ago. There's a great passing play with just a whiff, not leaving the Jazz unable to finish. Unfortunately for the Jazz, we've returned to the back and forth play we've seen most of this match. Not a whole lot going on. And then captures Curtis. Hanzo sending out a pair of dragons in celebration of that shot. Rob on the wall, and the rest of the quads just not in position to make that save.
Yeah, it was a bit of a defensive breakdown, I think, from the quads there. They were kind of no one really in position to make a proper save, so didn't totally work out for them. But 20 seconds left. They do still have the lead. Jazz looking to say something about it. Not gonna happen for them, but yeah, hopefully they'll be able to hold out this lead for 10 more seconds.
Yes, Jazz keeping it on there, and Clamhammer up in the air. Turtle Assassin not turning for it. Slurpee taking a final shot. Saved by Robbing Hope. Clamhammer keeps it up. Slurpee's going up for a touch. The Clamhammer and Hanzo double commit, and it's down on the ground. That's the end of the match. Or end of the game, sorry.
Yeah, so the quads do take a pretty strong game one, I think, there. Did get to see their great looking cars there at the end of the game as well, so very coordinated. But yeah, that was a fairly dominant performance just in terms of capitalizing on mistakes made by the Jazz team and really just being effective at that, which is how they got 3 or 4 of their goals. So definitely look to carry that forward into the next one. And meanwhile, the Jazz, I definitely think, are coming into the next game with the momentum. They scored the last 2 goals in that one, and they were looking like a much stronger team at the end, kind of closing down their defensive errors and putting on a lot of offensive pressure.
Absolutely, and at the same time, the quads were weakening their defense in the last minute of that match. If that had happened 2 minutes sooner, might have had a different result.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, and yeah, if the quads are a very momentum-based team, which I do believe that they are, it'll be interesting to see how that momentum swing from the end of last game factors into the beginning of this one here.
Absolutely. And going into the second game of this 4-game series, we have Robbing Hope and Hanzo off the kickoff. Hanzo winning it, Cheese Pie clearing it out. First whiff from the quads, second one is cleaned up by Slurpee. He's already lost it though. 3 quads in that corner.
And a big demo there at midfield is pretty effective. Definitely a way to get in the head of quads players as well. What a shot! And
an unfortunate redirect from the quads player there.
Yeah, spectacular redirect, but it was slightly the wrong direction.
Indeed, Clamhammer would have been a great off the post, but Rob is unfortunately positioned. He's acknowledging the great pass, though.
Yeah, it was a very good look from Clamhammer. Definitely got his car rotated around well, and obviously caught Rob very off guard, so bit of panic.
Almost manages to do it again,
oh,
and
what a save.
Rob making up for it by saving a great triple car team play from the Jazz. Slurpee making a save from Turtle Assassin, turning the blue net. Ball going up and down in the corner. Turtle Assassin sending it high above the Jazz side.
Oh, what a shot! That is just super well done by Rob there. Very intelligent as well by Turtle to just keep that ball in the zone and put it up for a good chance for his teammate, and then Rob with a spectacular finish. Just put it in the one spot that there were no Jazz players, so very well done by him, and they're back to an even. Yo, no, Rob. Rob!
I was about to say, Rob in position to clean up from his mistakes, but unfortunately he adds to the pile.
Well, I mean, he said it himself. He does have all the goals in this game, so I guess he's up to a hat trick, but that's going to change around a bit. I don't know. You could still throw Rob under the bus for that one, as he just did not. Yes, still counts as his. Just did not execute on that kickoff. Went straight in. So.
Indeed. 75 kilometers an hour. I don't know if the players at the corner could recover for that, but we'll have to see if that situation comes up again. Jazz 3-1. 3 minutes, 45, just over 45 seconds to go. Cheese Pie sending it up into the corner. Slurpee clearing it out. Turtle Assassin holding it, taking control and keeping up the pressure. Hanzo knocks it off of him. Ball's a bit loose at the moment. Nothing really going on here. Cheese Pie sends it on net. Hanzo gets a nice, slow, easy save. Rob right above the net, and he almost managed to knock it off of Clamhammer's head. Turtle Assassin sending it back towards the center. Cheese Pie is there, and he won't be able to get it past Clamhammer.
Yeah, oh, Slurpee Boomer. No one home for the quads. Jazz now up 4-1, so the momentum swing is real here, as we just see every single quads player extended far upfield, no one on their own half.
Indeed. Cheese Pie was back, but far off to the side, unable to do anything as Slurpee just dunks on 2 of the quads players.
Oh,
And it looks like he's attempting to do it again. Cheese Pie making a save with the post. Slurpee versus Cheese Pie. He'll get it over.
Yeah, great little solo effort there from Slurpee. Definitely not what the quads needed here. There were 3 players there. One of them probably should have turned to close in a bit earlier, but they gave Slurpee altogether too much time, and he definitely took advantage of that one. Very close to a 5-1 Jazz lead now, not even halfway through this game, so really kind of falling apart here for the quads, and this is why they can kind of turn into a 1-3 type of squad. They sort of lose all their momentum and then just start conceding like crazy. So we'll have to see if they can get any momentum back in the series, but if they don't, the series might very well go down the drain fast.
Indeed, and we'll have to see what they can make of it. Turtle Assassin blocking Hanzo's clear, bringing it into the corner. Slurpee sending it above, and messing in the center. Rob, can he make it? Off the crossbar. Cheese Pie for the second attempt. Slurpee's there. Cheese Pie is going again, but Slurpee's going to beat him to it. Thanks to Turtle Assassin's end goal to keep that from becoming a 6-1 lead. Hanzo with a high shot. Cheese Pie is there to deflect. Another from Hanzo. Turtle Assassin sending it high above the goal. Clamhammer, the shot is wide.
Ooh.
Slurpee unable to get it past the defenders.
Yeah, this pressure here from the Jazz is just relentless. Finally, the quads are able to get it past midfield, but they immediately lose possession again. So this pressure from the Jazz is just kind of, I mean, not only is it wearing down the defense of the quads and eventually potentially turning into a goal, but it's just killing time, and that's really the quads' enemy at this point, is the clock. So they need to really step up their offense and their quick turnarounds and their clears and everything if they want to get this game under any sort of control.
Indeed. Lovely pass from Turtle Assassin. Cheese Pie not close enough. 3 defenders from the Jazz in the way. Hanzo sends it high. Clamhammer looks like he's going for a shot or a pass. It's dropping down. Turtle Assassin is there to make the save. Did appear to be on target. Slurpee there to receive, but Turtle Assassin beats him to it. Rob sending it above the net. Turtle Assassin and Cheese Pie, neither one able to make the touch. A lot of back passing going on from the Jazz. Seems to be a little more confident in their passing control at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely in control of this game, I think, and they're just kind of playing around with the lead. They know that they have a 4-goal advantage here with 40 seconds left. At this point, they probably don't need to do too much other than hit the ball once or twice, and they'll come away with a win in this game. So kind of just looking to close it out and just kind of relax and take this time to just compose themselves.
Hanzo barely making that save off Turtle Assassin. Quads looking like they may be trying to make at least one more goal in the final 15 seconds of the game.
Ooh.
Almost a goal from Hanzo there. Would have been off the post, pinched away. Clamhammer going in for a final attempt. Rob is there. Hanzo with the shot, and it's good. 2 seconds to go, and we're 1 off from Brazil. 6-1, Jazz.
Yeah, nice little goal here at the end. Probably right when the quads are starting to feel more confident in themselves. If the team is as momentum-based as they seem to be, that can really, really hurt in the long run. Right when they're starting to get some confidence back, Jazz just go and steal it all away with a dominant last goal, and as well in a long-term league like this, that can always help out your goal differential at the end of the season. So every little bit counts here. But yeah, very, very dominant performance from the Jazz. Their MVP in that one might have been Rob with 3 of their 6 goals, but definitely all the players from the Jazz did a really solid job as well.
Indeed. Not a whole lot to say other than what's been said. Jazz for solid game. Quads need to be looking to shore up their defense and their rotations. Both teams needing to make sure that they finish their setups going into this third game.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down a lot to the Quads' early game, I think, here. If they can kind of shake that last game off, get out of their own heads, and just put on some early pressure like they did so effectively in game number 1 in this series, they can definitely turn this around pretty quickly. But as it stands, it's really the Jazz who feel pretty in control of this series, so we'll have to see if they can keep that up.
Indeed, and after a 6-1 result, something that's going to be hard to come back from despite the first game victory. Jazz in control early, and it's a quick goal in the first 12 seconds from Hanzo.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Quads didn't need. A pretty bad double commit there from them. Like Cheese Pie and Turtle just in the same place. Rob, of course, still rotating back from a recent offensive endeavor, so kind of not much that the Quads could have done at that point. Nothing to do but write it off as a loss and move on. And Cheese Pie, move on he does. 4 seconds. Gets one back.
A fantastic solo play here. Cheese Pie winning kickoff and doing exactly what you always dreamed to do with the kickoff. Just catching it off the wall and carrying it into the goal.
Yeah, very, very well done by him. And that type of stuff is exactly what the Quads need to get themselves back into this one. After conceding early, they kind of get right back to it. So definitely strong by them, and look to add to it here.
Indeed, looking forward to another 4.5 minutes of solid Rocket League this game. Slurpee sending it forward to Cheese Pie, who makes an attempted pass to Robbing Hope. It's not quite there. Hanzo sending it forward. Clamhammer keeping it going. It's a pass far to the left of the goal. Slurpee is going to be there, sending it up. Clamhammer in the air is far wide. Slurpee trying to bring it back to the center. Hanzo not able to keep it moving. Turtle Assassin sends it up to Rob, who's not going to make it past Slurpee. Solid defense so far from Jazz.
Yeah, they've definitely kind of improved from a fairly weak showing in the first game. And yeah, they've just been really solid on their defense, especially at midfield, kind of capitalizing on the poor turnaround. As goal just comes out of nowhere there.
It seems Quads are having difficulty getting that ball away. Turtle Assassin staying with it even after he loses control. Cheese Pie back to follow, but not in position to cover the catch. As Clamhammer makes an excellent goal. 2-1, Jazz.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying before. I was rudely interrupted by a goal there, but yeah, the Quads have been struggling a lot with their quick turnarounds from offense to defense, and getting the ball past midfield is where they really struggle. And the Jazz have really noticed that, and they've been capitalizing on it. So very well done by them, but definitely something the Quads need to work on here.
Indeed. Seems at the moment the Quads having a little communication trouble, as you can see them a lot of cutting and turning in the back right corner of the Jazz. Ball not going anywhere except right back in the direction of the Quads' goal. Slurpee passes it to Hanzo. Back to Slurpee. Well over Clamhammer's head. Not much that they can do with that pass. Turtle Assassin dribbles over to Rob. Slurpee keeps him off target. And Hanzo keeps it moving away. Not for long. Clamhammer. Long clear. And we're resuming the back and forth. But pressure is being kept up more consistently on both sides, it seems, at the moment.
Yeah, the Quads have kind of really stepped it up here. They've kind of reversed the playing field, so to speak, in just keeping midfield control of the ball here. I say as they completely lose midfield control of the ball, but regardless, they're doing a much better job at midfield defense, and it's kind of forcing the Jazz to make these long clears and just boom the ball downfield and give away possession quickly. But all in all, I don't think that's necessarily bad for the Jazz, as they are still playing with the lead here. So any back and forth favors them.
Indeed. Seems both teams are having a little bit of trouble on the edges and corners. Center, out in the open, they seem to be doing just fine, and air's not too bad. Anytime they're in the corner, both teams having some rotational difficulties.
Ooh, Rob nearly gets it in. Demo, huge demo, turtle.
Turtle Assassin, oh, just off the post. Been an amazing play there. Cheese Pie not able to make much of the follow-up from that. Crowd keeps it moving away from the quad's end. Slurpee unable to do much more than slow him down. Hanzo sends it up on the wall. Cheese Pie, an attempted center, but Clamhammer keeps away from the blue. Turtle Assassin too slow into the air to beat Hanzo. Slurpee 50-50s with Rob. Cheese Pie versus Clamhammer on the wall. Clamhammer's too slow. Far off goal there. Turtle Assassin not able to center.
Yeah, this is an interesting type of situation the quads are finding themselves in. They really just can't finish on offense. They're getting the ball down there, they're creating chances for themselves, but they're just not finishing, whether that's because their rotation's a bit lackluster and they're playing too scared or whatever else, but Jazz are having similar struggles, so they're definitely not alone, but favors the Jazz because they do have that lead.
And right there, just enough defense from the Jazz to keep a goal-scoring opportunity from happening there. Rob's sending the ball away now, up to Clamhammer, who's in control. Not for too long. Turtle Assassin back passes, but Cheese Pie is stolen from him by Slurpee. Rob, Clamhammer with a shot.
Ooh.
Good, bringing it 3-1 Jazz.
Yeah, this shot kind of also came out of nowhere. Clamhammer following up, he did something very similar in a previous game. Just finds the ball on the side of the field after, honestly, not all that bad of a clear from Rob. Just kind of found its way to Clamhammer, and he took a really, really strong shot from a tough angle, and the quads were just not prepared for that. And yeah, 3-1 with only 20 seconds left. This game is looking dire.
Indeed. 12 seconds to go. Jazz still on offense. Quads need to get it out of their end if they're going to have any chance to even one more goal. Hanzo high above the quad side. Rob sends it out, but it's down on the ground. Jazz takes the game. 3-1.
Yeah, pretty. I don't know if I would necessarily call it a dominant performance, but it didn't feel like they were out of control of the game at any point. There were some times where the quads definitely generated some offense. In fact, out shooting the Jazz by just one shot, 5 shots to 4. But regardless, the quads had a lot of trouble with actually sinking those shots into the back of the net. So the Jazz capitalized on that one and just walked away with a win in fairly controlled fashion. And I definitely think that the momentum of the series is still completely in their hands. So I have to see if they can carry that through Game 4 and claim a 3-1 win in this series, or if the quads can bring this to a draw.
Indeed. Opening up with Robin Hope versus Clamhammer, the names I was repeatedly saying last game because both seem to be the linchpin of many offensive actions. Oh, and we might be looking at an early goal. Hanzo and Clamhammer not able to finish. Slurpee versus 2/3 of the quads. Quads take it. Cheese Pie sending it forward. And he's able to finish. Great play on the post there.
Yeah, it was a really good look to just boom it over the defender when there was no one available for the Jazz to rotate back. Unfortunately, he missed, but he definitely made up for it with just a spectacular little finish there, pinching it right off the outside of the post. So an early quads lead here, I definitely think is exactly what they need if they want to find some momentum and find a second victory in this series.
Indeed, they'll have to be careful, though, as a triple commit just occurred on defense. Nothing came of it, but we'll have to see if that changes. Cheese Pie sending it forward. Clamhammer alone on defense, slows it down, but isn't able to send it out. Slurpee finishes the job. Pass it inwards towards goal. Rob with the defense. Clamhammer, back pass to Hanzo off the wall. Robbing Hope redirects. Saved by Slurpee. Turtle Assassin, viciously murdered by Clamhammer.
Yeah, a little bit of a demo there is definitely something that can be very effective at shutting down offensive pushes, and it can also just get in your opponent's head, just annoy them a little bit. anything to gain an advantage.
It's a long shot there. Wouldn't have been a goal, but Slurpee keeps it from becoming an opportunity. Hanzo sending it forward. Turtle Assassin keeping it away. Doesn't seem like Jazz would have been there in any case. Rob alone on offense. Hanzo not able to get it past him. Quad's playing defensive now.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the lead, so they can afford to play a bit more defensively, and I definitely think that they are still getting the offensive opportunities they need in order to kind of keep themselves in position to win this game. And as well, it's kind of just waiting for them to capitalize on Jazz mistakes, which is a formula that worked very well for them in game number 1 in this series.
Oh, and almost another goal from Slurpee there off of a pass from Clamhammer. Clamhammer unable to prevent Rob from sending it forward. Turtle Assassin up in the air for an attempt. Slurpee's there to keep it away. Cheese Pie sending it to center. Clamhammer again versus Rob. Wins it. It's dropping back into Jazz territory. Turtle Assassin versus Hanzo on defense. Slurpee's back to keep it out. All three Jazz in that corner. Fortunately, Quad's not there to take advantage. 2:20 left. Still 1-0 in favor of Quads. Cheese Pie to Turtle. Hanzo and Rob, both of them gone. Thankfully not forever. Rob is there on defense, keeping it going.
Yeah, it's little demos like that that can really turn a play one way or the other. They removed a player from offense, and that push should have technically just ended right there, but at the same time a player was removed from defense, so kind of generated some more space for the players to work, forced a little bit of a 2v2, and kind of just almost came to be for the Jazz, but couldn't quite happen.
Double commit on defense from the Jazz, and Cheese Pie is there to punish them for that mistake.
Yeah, just very, very well done by him, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. The Quads just waiting patiently for the Jazz to make a kind of silly mistake like that one, and they do get a free goal off it, so that's something the Jazz really just can't have happen at this point. Only a minute and 30 and change here in this game, and down by 2 now, so they really need to get it together and focus up if they want to bring this game back.
Absolutely. Rob just unfortunately missing a pass for a chance at a redirect. Hanzo sending it on target. No one there to clean up the off-the-post shot. Slurpee versus the Quads. It's dropping right in front of goal. Rob clears it out after a save by Cheese Pie.
Oh, what a shot! Oh.
A little wide. Slurpee there to hold control. Rob off the post. Cheese Pie, will he make it? He will!
Yeah, it just looked like Clamhammer didn't have any boost for that one. It's kind of going back, and he did actually pick up that boost in the corner, just couldn't quite reach in time, so very well done by Cheese Pie, and a great little pass from Rob as well to get it into the middle. 3-goal advantage now. Just over a minute left. This is starting to look like the series will come to a draw.
It seems that way. 55 seconds. Slurpee on offense to Clamhammer.
Oh!
And Caster's curse, anyone?
Yeah, well, the Jazz just saying that they're not quite out of this one yet. A little pass from Slurpee and then a bit of a double commit there. Rob and Turtle just could not decide which one of them was going to go for that ball. So they both went, and neither of them came up with it, and it ended up in the back of their net. So, good play from them.
Starting off with some whiffs from every side, at least to a team. Slurpee getting the ball moving off the wall, but it's Cheese Pie sending it forward. Hanzo blocks it. Clamhammer pulls it forward. Clamhammer versus Turtle, and Turtle's not up to the task. Was that technically a reverse goal? Interesting claims, Onyx.
Yeah, it was
a lovely flick.
Yeah, it was a great little flick, and then Clamhammer as well was just there to finish it, kind of put a dunk on, I don't remember who it was in goal, put a dunk on him. Got it through. 30 seconds now. This is definitely anyone's game. Just quick rapid-fire offense here from the Jazz is really turning out well, and a huge demo! Rob, clutch save.
Unfortunately, nothing that they're able to make of it on the Jazz side. Lots of demos going on. Clamhammer passes it up to Hanzo. Cheese Pie keeps it away. Hanzo sending it back. No one in net except Slurpee. He manages to clear it away from Turtle Assassin. 7 seconds to go. Clamhammer not able to center it. Hanzo over center. Slurpee misses the clutch attempt.
Yep.
It's going to go to the quads, bringing the series to a 2-2 tie.
Yeah, absolutely. The quads just do a good job to bookend the series, getting games 1 and 4. So kind of showing that they might not be quite so much of a momentum-based team as we had assumed. Showing the ability to come from behind in a game like this one, and other than the last minute there, they really felt pretty in control. They were kind of just waiting and capitalizing on Jazz mistakes and playing very patiently and solid defense. So very, very effectively done by them to walk away with a win and a draw in the series, which is probably not the best possible outcome, but honestly, pretty good. The quads currently struggling pretty badly here. Three-way tie for the worst record in the major league. Of course, I think both their contestants for that spot forfeited all their games this evening, so that gives the quads a bit of a berth over those guys, but still some work to do in their conference.
Indeed. Some time to climb up, but overall, a tie, not a bad result for the series. I have to say, much respect to the quads for not falling apart after that 6-1 loss. They brought up a lot more pressure the next game to cut down the goal differential by far and then come around for a win in the final game.
Yep, I was very impressed with their play, and as well, I was very impressed with the Jazz play. They definitely showed that they were strong, that they have a lot of potential to be a great team, maybe just a little bit more time working together, and definitely could see some great things from them.
Absolutely. Both teams, little work on the rotation, little work on those double commits, and I think we have two serious contenders. Season is, as of tonight, match day 6, the season is not even half over for these major
the
league
major,
teams.
yeah.
For the Challenger League, however, we are almost to the halfway point. That'll be next Monday. The other league still a little longer to go.
It's actually match day 7 today.
Today is match day 7. I was wrong. So as of today, Challenger is indeed at their halfway point. They're beginning to enter the downhill stretch to playoffs. Although I'm sure the team's working towards that, it may feel all uphill from here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what these teams can do, and hopefully we will find out some more next week. But I believe that will wrap up our coverage of match day number 7 here from the Rocket Soccer Confederation. So throw it over to CD to wrap up our stream here.
Yes, that is the end of our stream for tonight. Thank you all for coming out to watch. If you're interested in all things RSC, please join our Discord. Link is below the stream in the description. This weekend, we're going to be having tournaments. 3v3, 2v2. Please join our Discord for more information. Come by, have a great time. Everyone is welcome to enter, whether you're part of the league or not. Next Monday, we will be resuming our coverage of regular matches. We also have an announcement to make. We're looking to close mid-season signups as of this week. If you are watching and interested in joining RSC in the middle of the season, now is your last chance to do so. We're looking to close signups on Friday. Again, join our Discord for more information. And I do believe that is everything. Thank you all for watching. Have a lovely night.